everybody. I do hope it was worth the wait. I do apologize for our audio problems, my audio problems, let's admit it. I mean, you know, when you've been through as many Halloweens as I have, anything can happen. And I think that there might be a little sheog in the room, a little fairy playing tricks on me. Well, anyway, once upon a time in Ireland, there was a storyteller who said, welcome to Samhain. To what? I thought we were here for Halloween. Sorry, if I come to the wrong place. No, you come to the right place. Samhain is the Irish Halloween. Many of you already knew that. And Samhain really means the eve of November, because Samhain is right at that point where it's the dying light of October going into the 1st of November. And it's where the Irish believed in pagan times, and maybe until today, and still going forward, that this time of year around Halloween is when the divide between our world and the next world is at its thinnest. It's where the spirits, the ghostines, the sheogs can cross over into our world. And you know what? That's why we dress up. That's why we're in disguise. I'm in disguise. Yes, are you in disguise? Many of you are in costume. That's wonderful. It's really me. Yes, hello, I am Máire, the storyteller for today. And I welcome you all. Everybody, I don't know if you believe in witches. I don't know if you believe in ghosts and spirits, fairies. Do you believe in them? Well, a lot of people don't believe in them. And I think that whether we believe in them or not, I think it's interesting to find out a little bit about why the Irish have celebrated down thousands of years, because this is an ancient tradition. Many people around the world believe that Halloween is an American holiday, and it is. But I think we can boast. I think we can. I think we can say the Halloween that we experience in America and around the world is pretty much from its origins in Ireland. Not only Ireland, there are similar Samhain festivals in Scotland, in Wales, and generally in Northern Europe. But also the Mexicans. I live in Los Angeles. It's a Mexican city, and they celebrate the Day of the Dead. And there are so many similarities and crossovers, even down to the games they play. It's really quite amusing. Now, I can see that many of you have dressed up. You're in disguise. And the reason that we disguise ourselves, oh, you don't think I'm in disguise anymore? Yes, I've come as a witch. How do you think I look? Yeah? Is this convincing? Okay, yeah. So you can see the croaky old voice, the wrinkled skin, and this white wig that I got. It's pretty good, actually. It doesn't come off. It's wonderful. And and you've all dressed up too. My goodness, everybody looks wonderful. But the reason to disguise oneself is not just for fun. It's also when you walk out, you could be walking past or towards or among spirits from the other world. And some of them may harm you. In order to stop them harming you, you must hide who you are. Maybe you look like a spirit yourself. Are you dressed as a skeleton, a witch, a ghostie? What do you look like? Who are you? Sometimes people would dress up so much that nobody could figure out who they were. And that all adds to the intrigue, the excitement, and yes, the fear. Well, we're coming to some fear in a little bit, because I'm going to tell you a spooky tale. But before we come to it, let's have a little look at some of the other traditions that the Irish celebrate at Samhain, at Halloween. I know when I was growing up, we had apple bobbing. Do you ever play apple bobbing? Let me explain. So apple bobbing, my parents, God love them, got all us 5 kids to play apple bobbing. We had a bowl of water and the apples were inside. Now, I think nowadays you might be arrested for child cruelty, but at the time it seemed fine. We'd be blindfolded, we'd have to hold our hands behind our backs, and then there'd be apples bobbing around in the water, and we couldn't see them. We would have to kneel down And Mummy, do I do it now? Do I do it now? And we would put our heads in the water. They weren't trying to drown us. No. And then we take a big bite out of the apple. Except usually, before you got a big bite out of the apple, Mummy, the water's gone up my nose. The water's gone up my nose. Oh, Mummy, the water's gone. Try again. You nearly got it. The only thing that could fix whether you got a bite out of the apple or not was maybe a bit of chocolate later. Talking of apples, there was more to it than just the apple, Bobby. There was the other strange thing. Stick an apple on a string. One of the children, usually me, stand on the chair and swivel all around and wave the apple enticingly in front of my brothers and sisters in a very cruel way. Again, they'd be blindfolded. They would have their hands behind their backs. And if the apple came their way and came in front of their mouths and they took a swipe with their teeth, they might get a bite of the apple. And that was part of the Halloween game. Now, a game that I have heard, and I know that some of my cousins in Ireland may have played, and this is a great one. Barmbrack. What is barmbrack? Barmbrack is sort of it's like a cross between a cake and bread, but with fruit in, with raisins and sultanas. So here is my barmbrack. Let's just call it a pumpkin brownie with pecans and white chocolate. It's barmbrack, of course it is. And what you do is kind of like it was a fortune-telling thing. You take a bite of the barmbrack and everybody gets a piece. And if your piece has a ring inside it, then that means that you might get married within a year. So there'd be great excitement. Who would get the ring? Who wanted to marry? Who would get the opportunity? It was great excitement. And so I'm going to take a little bite of it now, just in case. And as my aunties would always say, Maura, sure, it's never too late. It's never too late, Maura. It's never too late. And they said that, and they kept saying that as I got older and older and older. It's never too late, Maura. It's never too late. And I'd get older and older, and they'd say it every year. Maura, it's never too late, love. It's never too late. You might get the ring now. It's never too late. And well, they're dead now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Folks, you heard it here first. The great Samhain tradition has blessed this event, this gathering. I should just finish off explaining about the barmbrack. I'm sort of excited now. I can't really concentrate, but another one that you would have is that that you would take a bite, and if you got a stick, luckily there's no sticks in. No stick. If you got a stick, it meant that it wouldn't be a happy marriage, or you'd end up a dry old stick. I don't believe in any of that old nonsense. Do you? Not a load of old nonsense. People would leave out food and drink on Halloween, on Samhain, for their dear departed to come back and have a feast. You would leave food by the fire so that overnight they could come and treat themselves and help themselves. Colcannon was left out. Colcannon, mashed potatoes, onions, salt and pepper, bit of milk, buttermilk perhaps, cabbage, sometimes kale. And the colcannon would be left out overnight. Now, if the next day there was still some left, they would share it among the needy of the parish, the people who didn't have enough to eat. And so food was a great thing, including the turnip. Turnip? I think you mean pumpkin? No, I mean turnips. So around the 1840s, there was a terrible tragedy in Ireland. You may have heard of it, the Irish famine. And many tens of thousands of Irish people left Ireland to go sail over to America. And that didn't stop in the 1840s. It went right the way through the 1800s into the 1900s. And because there were so many Irish people coming to America, they brought their customs with them. When it came to Halloween, they're looking around for turnips. Not easy to find turnips. I got a turnip, and they would carve a face in the turnip and then put a candle inside. So that was my attempt at carving a turnip. Actually, I've got a good photograph of that because I held a match up there, a little bit low tech there. However, as we know, it wasn't really ideal to use turnips because they're hard to carve. Why not, while we're in America? My goodness, what are these big orange things? Aren't these amazing? The pumpkin. So the pumpkin became the vegetable of choice for Samhain. And there it goes, the wonderful pumpkins. So there we have it. So food is a very central part to the Halloween celebration. And nowadays, it's celebrated all over the world in different ways. Bonfires is another thing that they would have. And because the sun was low in the sky in winter, our Irish ancestors would light bonfires, Chinnacanov. And a bonfire is literally a bone fire, a fire of the bones of the slaughtered animals. And this was to keep the warmth and also the light. It was said to help the sun in its traveling, in its journey. So bonfires were lit all over. In fact, there's an Irish dance called the bonfire dance. So it's a cause of great celebration was to have bonfires, and it was a great way for the community to all meet. And of course, nowadays we have trick or treat and carrying candy. And as I say, when you left the food out overnight, well, if you didn't do it, or you didn't bother, or you forgot, bad luck may come your way. A bit like if somebody comes around trick or treating and you say, no, I'm not going to give you a treat. Well, watch out, because there could be a trick coming your way, a prank. You see, Halloween is now, we think of it very often as children going around to houses, dressing costumes, tricking and treating. In the old days, it wasn't just limited to children. It was older people, it was teens, it was young adults, it was older adults. And so trick or treat really is a pass down from when food would be brought and offered and saved and shared. Now, we've done the apples, we've done the turnip, we've done the bombrack. I think we're just about ready for the story. Come on, let's get going with the story. What's the name of the story? It's got 3 names. Well, it's got 2 names, but I'm adding a third. The White Gander. The White Gander. It's also known as the Piper and the Puka. I call it Puka Beware. Oh, what is a puka? Well, some of you know. Some of you don't know what a puka is. Let's leave the puka until a little bit later on to explain what a puka is. Let's just say it's a supernatural creature that comes out on Halloween in Ireland. The puka. Once upon a time in Ireland, there lived a young piper. His name was Seamus, and Seamus lived with his mother, just the 2 of them. Now, Seamus lived in a part of Ireland where there was so much music and dancing. This was a long time ago. When Seamus's father was alive, he was a very well-known and highly respected musician himself. He had passed away, and his son now took up the pipes. The uilleann pipes. Well, what are the uilleann pipes? The uilleann pipes are the Irish bagpipes. Right, okay. Oh, what's this belt that I'm wearing around my waist? Do I think I'm a pirate? No. Let me just move this here. It's not for oxygen, although when I'm dancing, I sometimes need it. Let me pretend that I'm an uilleann piper. Let me pretend that I have a set of uilleann pipes, or something that looks like uilleann pipes. So I've got something over here. These are called the bellows, and I use my elbow to pump the air in the bellows. By the way, the Irish for elbow is uilleann. uilleann. And the air pumps into this pipe, it goes through over to the other side of my body where I have a cushion, a leather bag under my other uilleann, and that squeezes the air. So I squeeze the air from here across into here. And then with this one, I gently squeeze it into these pipes on my lap. And this is what the uilleann pipes look like. I haven't really got the whole thing here. I think there's another piece. Here's the other piece. Right, so this other piece here, people often say it's a little bit like dancing with a drunken octopus or fighting with one. And so this one here, when I lift this off my lap, that changes key. I press these, and then, oh, I know you're all excited. We're going to hear Máire play the uilleann pipes. Isn't it amazing that she's such a fine musician? No, I cannot play at all. And these are not really uilleann pipes. They just look like them. Let's have a listen. What do they actually sound like? Okay, so Seamus played the uilleann pipes. He only played the one tune. What do you mean only one tune? Just the one song? Nothing more? Oh, well, the reason was Seamus was the laziest boy in Ireland. The laziest boy in Ireland. He was terrible. He just never did a thing. And you know what? His mammy didn't really mind because she said, Seamus is a musician, just like his daddy. So mammy just got on with her chores, and she didn't really mind that Seamus never helped her. She did all the chores, and she just said, my son Seamus, he's my little pride and joy. He's a great little fella. Now, he wasn't really a little fella. He was a teenager. He was nearly a grown-up. But the way she treated him, she gave him everything that he wanted, and he didn't want for anything. And he didn't do anything, really. He just used to sit around all day, dreaming and singing songs, and meanwhile, Mammy got on with the housework. Seamus, lift your legs there, love. Thank you, love. Thank you. And she, that's it now, right? Okay. And she'd have the house spick and span, but it wasn't just the house. She cooked the meals, she cleaned up, she looked after the cow, she fed the chicken, she did everything. In fact, I think we could say she milked the cow, she washed the floor. They had no money and were very poor. Can we try that? She milked the cow, she washed the floor. They had no money and were very poor. She milked the cow, she washed the floor. They had no money and were very poor. She milked the cow, she washed the floor. They had no money, were very poor. Last time. She milked the cow, she washed the floor. They had no money and were very poor. On Halloween itself, Seamus was sitting, playing a tune, looking into space, not thinking of very much, when Mammy heard a knock at the door. Seamus, there's a knock at the door. Could you go get the door, love? No, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, thank you, Pat. Thank you. It's the postman, love. It's a letter for you. To Seamus. Seamus got the letter. He'd never received a letter to himself before. He opened it up. Dear Seamus, happy Halloween. You are invited to a party tonight in the valley. Please come and bring your pipes. We need a musician. Can I go, Mammy? Can I go? Can I go? Can I go? She would not let him go. Can I go? Can I go? Will you let me go? Will you let me go? No, 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 no. Will you let me go? I will not let you go. Will you let me go? Please, please, Mammy. Will not let you go. Will you let me go? Let me go. I will not let you go. It's on too late and I can't bring you. I'm sorry, love. Maybe next year. Oh, Mammy. This is my one big chance, said Seamus. Please, Mammy, please. I really want to go. I really want to go. Please let me go. I need to go to the party and bring my uilleann pipes. Please, Mammy, please. Please, will you let me go? I said no. Please let me go. I said no. Please, let me go. I said, all right, love, but don't be late. Don't drink any whiskey. Be polite. You'll come straight home before it's too late. Got me? Yes, Mammy. Yes, Mammy. So Seamus set off. He put on his cap, Seamus, it's cold out there. Bring your warm scarf. I don't need my scarf, ma'am. Bring your warm scarf. I don't need my scarf. Oh, you're not going. All right, ma'am, I've got my scarf. Got my scarf. He picked up his pipes, he put on his scarf, and off he set. And he walked for many miles. Now, this is a long time ago, before they had any electricity. There weren't even cars on the road. All he had for lights were candles in the windows of the houses that he passed. And he walked for many miles, up the hill, down into the valley, and eventually he came to the house. He knocked on the door. Somebody answered the door. Yeah, hello? Oh, hello. I'm Seamus. I'm the musician. Seamus is here! Come on in. Seamus is here. The musicians arrived. Brilliant. Woohoo! Come on in. Seamus came in. He was freezing cold. Now, Halloween, the end of October in Ireland, is a cold and damp place. His hands were frozen solid. He knew he wouldn't be able to play his pipes now. Oh my goodness, but it didn't matter because they sat him next to the fire and they'd give him a lovely hot cup of tea and he could warm his hands. Oh, and he began to feel better. And then he looked around and then he saw not in any rush to be playing at all because all the mad crowd, they were all crazy, laughing and joking, pushing each other's heads into the bowl of water as they were bobbing for apples. And then the string, the apple on the string, and they were all head-butting each other and knocking each other over. It was pandemonium. Seamus laughed. He thought, I love this Halloween party. Isn't it great? They offered him a little bit of barmbrack. He took a bite, but he was very careful because he didn't want to be biting any rings or sticks or any of that nonsense. And it was delicious. And then he was ready to play. He picked up his pipes and he began to play. And everybody cheered and got up to dance. So everybody listening and watching, everybody please stand up. We are about to dance. Are you ready? Oh, no prior experience or training is necessary. This is Ireland, Samhain, having fun. That is what it is all about. Here we go. Everybody up. You ready? All right. So Seamus was enjoying himself so much that he didn't notice that hours went by. Nobody noticed that he was playing the same tune over and over again. They were having so much fun, they didn't even pay any attention at all. Seamus realized it was getting late. He looked at the clock. Uh-oh, Mammy will be waiting. And she did promise me some hot milk and some barmbrack by my bed when I get home. So Seamus stood up. He put on his coat, he put on his scarf, he put on his cap, he picked up his pipes, and he went. And as he got to the door, everybody suddenly realized, wait a minute, wait. Hey, Seamus, where are you going? What are you doing? And he says, oh, I'm sorry, everybody, I have to go. It was a great party. Thanks very much. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. All the best now. Good night. Good night. No, Seamus, come back. We need you for the music. Come back. Ah, no, I can't. My mammy's waiting for me now. In fairness, I have to go. I have to go. But goodbye now. Good night. Well, he thought that would be it. But as he was starting to walk off, one of the young guys in there, old Burko, shouted out, hey, Seamus, watch out for the puka. Seamus said, ha, do you think I'm scared of a puka? Doesn't even exist. What do you think I am, a child? Ha! Get away out of that. And he walked off, laughing to himself. And as he walked home, he was thinking about what a great night it was and how lovely it would be to get home in the warm. But then after a while, he realized, wait a minute, I seem to be walking for a long way and I don't think I'm lost, but this seems a much longer journey home. Then he saw the Concluse Bridge and he thought, I know that. I'll take a little rest here. So he put his pipes down and he leant on the side of the bridge. And as he leant down, he looked into the water. And then he looked up at the moon and it was a full moon. And the reflection of the moon in the water was shimmering and it made him a bit dizzy. And he looked up and he saw that all the trees looked really spooky. Oh my God, have you ever seen spooky trees? No? Well, I have. Sometimes they look like monsters. They're all gnarled and curled over and they look sort of threatening. And Seamus thought, whoa, that's scary. And he thought, that's ridiculous. Trees aren't spooky or scary. Now, I've had my rest and now I'll go home. And he went to pick up his pipes when he heard this noise. What's that? But then it went quiet. All he could hear was the wind. Can we all make a wind sound? He could hear owls in the distance. But other than that, and a little trickle of the water, it was quiet. Oh, I must have thought I heard something. But then he heard something again. Who's there? Who's there? He said. He looked around, but he couldn't see anybody. He thought he'd heard footsteps. And the footsteps sounded like they were getting closer and closer and closer. Who's there? But still nothing. Who's there? And then from behind a tree stepped a puka. Oh, you don't know what a puka is? Well, there are lots of different versions as to what a puka is. Some say a puka is half goat and half horse. Some say it's a strange kind of a creature of a horse with donkey's ears. Others say, did you see the horns? And others will say, I didn't see the horns because the horns are curly and they're magical, but they're also invisible. Right. Well, this is a puka. And I can tell you what we pukas do. When it comes up to Halloween, it's really the end of the blackberry season. The blackberries are not really growing. And if you don't catch your blackberries by Halloween, you're not going to get any until next year. So do you know what I do? What the puka does? If I see an old blackberry along the lane or a little shower of them or a bowl of them somewhere, I'll take my chance and I'll spit on them because that's what we do. We spit on the blackberries. So you missed your last chance. What else can we do? We can talk. We can do magic. And we can fly. Sometimes we appear as a big rabbit. And you know why? Because people think rabbits are very gentle. And if we appear as a rabbit, they won't be scared of us. Now, here is a fine young man who I want to teach a lesson to because I heard he's very lazy and he never looks after his mammy or helps her around the house. He's full of himself. Hello, Seamus. Seamus stood there, not able to move. Oh my goodness, he was petrified. You know when you have those dreams and you want to run away and you can't move? That was Seamus. He just could not move, but it wasn't a dream. The puka came up towards him Well, Seamus, I heard you're a fine piper. Do you know the tune, the White Gander? No, I don't. No. The pooka got nearer, and with one of his invisible horns, he poked Seamus in the arm. Play now! Ow! Hurt! But then what happened was this. Seamus. Beautiful tune. The sound carried over into the next valley, where children heard it and smiled in their sleep, and old people started dreaming they were younger. Ah, Seamus, that's beautiful music. Come with me, and I'll make you a rich man. All right? Come with me, I'll make you a rich man. Now, wait till we see. Come with me, I'll make you a rich man and you'll get your reward. How's that? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, I need to go. I need to go. I need to, my mother's waiting for me, but thank you and happy Halloween. Good night. Seamus started to walk off, but he didn't get very far because the pooka came up behind him and with his horns, he poked Seamus in the back. Ah! Seamus flew up in the air. He did a somersault in the air and he landed not on the ground, but on the pooka's back. And the pooka started galloping. Seamus held on to the mane. He held on to his pipe. He said, stop, put me down, put me down, please, put me down now. But no, the pooka carried on, galloping and galloping, getting faster and faster. Suddenly the sound stopped. Were the hooves stopping? Was he stopping? No, he worked up such a speed, like an airplane. He now took off into the air, through the trees, up into the sky, up through the clouds, and up high into the night sky. Seamus went, oh no! He looked down in the distance, he could see the church, he could see a row of houses, and then he could see his own little house with the candle in the window, and he thought of his mammy. I'll never see mammy again, ever. Seamus cried. You would think that the pooka might take pity, but no, he just laughed. And we all do a pooka laugh. It's a very evil laugh. Everybody try the pooka laugh. Well, this was the worst thing ever to happen to Seamus. He closed his eyes thinking, maybe it's just a nightmare and I'll wake up. But then he opened his eyes and he said, watch out, we're about to crash into that mountain. And then bang, they landed. Ow, 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 ow. And Seamus stood up and he said, wait a minute. I thought you were bringing me to a party. The pooka ignored him and walked over to a rock. With his curly magic horns, he tapped the rock and the rock slid open. The pooka climbed down inside. It was a sort of a cave that was turning into a tunnel. He came back, follow me, Seamus. Seamus thought, no way. But then he thought, I don't want to be here on my own, on a mountaintop on Halloween. So he followed the pooka down into the tunnel, and they climbed through, and they climbed through, and they climbed through, and as they got to the other side, they get opened up into a beautiful, huge, big, beautiful room. Wow, there were diamonds and jewels hanging from the ceiling. There were mirrors and paintings of beautiful carpets. Seamus thought, I've never been anywhere so beautiful in all my life. It's lovely. At the far end was a table, and sitting at the table were 100 old hags, very, very ancient old men and women with long fingernails like animal claws. They had no teeth. They had wrinkles. They had long, long white and grey hair with spiders in their hair. They were bent over double, and they were eating and they were drinking. And the pooka said, happy Halloween. This is my friend Seamus. And they turned around and said, hello, Seamus. Seamus thought, I've never seen anything so ugly in all my life. But they are friendly. one of the old hags offered Seamus some tea and some barmbrack. Wouldn't you take some? It's just freshly made. Go on, Jim. And Seamus said, no, thank you. No, thank you. He remembered something his mother once told him. If you ever get into the land beyond, the other world, it's the fairyland. And if you eat their food or drink their drink, you might never, ever return. Seamus said, no, thank you. I'm fine. Well, the puka said, well, Seamus, if you're not going to eat the food or drink the drink, the very least you can do is play your pipes. Seamus said, well, I can't play my pipes if I can't sit down, and there are no chairs available. Well, at that moment, the door flung open, and in walked a white gander, a goose. And it came in. Oh, hello. And it looked at Seamus, and it looked at the puka, and it started carrying a chair. And it put it down and said to Seamus, sit there. So Seamus said, where? And he said, you sit right there. A talking, walking, chair carrying, unbelievable white gander. Seamus thought, okay, maybe this is just a very, very strange dream. I'm not sure. But the gander danced. Seamus picked up his pipes and he thought, well, I'm going to play my uilleann pipes because I've been asked to, but obviously the old hags are too old to dance. So it'll be nice background music for them while they're eating and drinking. So he picked up his pipes and he started to play. And he thought, I'll see if I can play another one, because he did play a different tune. And he thought, well, maybe the puka's given me magic and I'll be able to play another one. To his great surprise, it was a different tune again. And it was so lively that the old people put down their food and they stood up and they were a little bit shaky. But then they started to dance. So I need everybody to come up, stand up. This is a very special dance. It's the old hags dance. Well, Seamus couldn't believe what was happening. He played and he played and he played and he kept waiting for these poor old hags to collapse. How could they dance at all? Not only were they dancing, they were leaping off the floor, hopping, jumping, skipping, doing cross keys and rocks and heels and toes, stamp and clap, round the house, mind the dresser, the sevens, advance and retire, the arches, all of the stuff, the roly-poly, all of the Irish dances they'd ever learned. They shoved it all into this great old hags party. And Seamus sat there playing his pipes. And as he played, he thought, I'm happy, but now I'm ready to stop. But he couldn't stop. His fingers kept moving, his elbows kept shaking, and he thought, I can't stop. It's like I'm possessed. I've got a magic trick playing on me and I cannot stop. What am I going to do? Maybe I'll never stop. Maybe I will do this forever and ever. And he started to get really worried. But who should come to the rescue? Only the white gander. The white gander left the big circle of dancers. The puka was having too good a time. And the white gander started flapping its wings. It started coming towards Seamus and started doing, and a 1, 2, 3, and a 2, 2, 3, and a hop, and a hop. And it started to flutter and fly. And it came towards Seamus, and with its beak, it burst the airbag under Seamus's arm. And it went, bang. Can we do an explosion sound? Bang! Whoosh! All the air came out. And then everybody stopped and went, oh. Seamus said, thank you, white gander. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I didn't know if I could ever stop. I'm so grateful. But those poor old hags, have they dropped down dead? But he looked at them. The old hags were fine. In fact, they weren't only fine, they weren't old hags anymore. They had now become beautiful, strong, handsome, fit, healthy, young people. The hair was back to their normal color. All the teeth had grown back. Fingernails, normal size. Smooth skin. Backs, upright. Knees, no creaking. They were like 18 or 20 years old. And they said, Seamus, thank you. Your music gave us our youth back. And they were so grateful to him. He said, did I do that? You did, Seamus, with your music. And we want to thank you. So they each gave him a gold coin. And as they went up to give him the gold coin, some of them did it with just handing it to him. Some of them did it by flipping it over, flipping it back, putting it in his ear, turning around, juggling with it, and handing it to him. Some of them put it in his pocket and then found another one in their own pocket. So they had lots of different tricks, and then they would do a bow or a curtsy or a trick. So everybody stand up. Let's do our giving the gold coin to Seamus. Here we go. Well, Seamus could not be happier. But you know who was jealous, don't you? The puka. All right, Seamus, come on, time to go. Everybody loves Seamus. Everybody loves Seamus. Oh, Seamus this and Seamus that. And isn't Seamus a great musician? And what would we do without Seamus? Well, let me tell you, Seamus, you would be nothing without me. Do you hear me? You would be nothing. So come on, time's up. Let's get cracking. So Seamus followed the puka. They went back through the tunnel. Good night, everybody, said Seamus. Thank you, Seamus. Through the tunnel, back onto the mountaintop. All aboard, said the puka. Ha ha! And they went flying, galloping first. And then a whoosh up into the night sky, nearer the moon, through the clouds. Seamus wasn't afraid this time. He knew how this goes. And then within a few minutes, maybe it was only a few seconds, they arrived, bang, back down to the Concluse Bridge. Woo! We're back, said Seamus. That was amazing, puka. Puka? Puka, where are you? Puka, the puka had disappeared. Wait a minute, thought Seamus. Was that all just a dream? Maybe there was no puka. But then he realized, oh yes, his pockets were full of gold. And he also had his new set of uilleann pipes that the white gander had given him as a gift. So it was true. Has this experience changed Seamus? We'll see. He walked home, and he got home. By now, it was the morning. Dawn had come. His mammy was still asleep. He thought, I'm going to surprise her. He went out into the cowshed. He milked the cow. He milks the cow. He bakes the bread. He brings his mother breakfast in bed. He milks the cow. He bakes the bread. He brings his mother breakfast in bed. He milks the cow, he bakes the bread, he brings his mother breakfast in bed. He milks the cow, he bakes the bread, he brings his mother breakfast in bed. He makes the cow, he bakes the bread, he brings his mother breakfast in bed. Woo! Mammy woke up. What's happening, Seamus? What's happening? He said, Mammy, I made you breakfast in bed. Sausages, bacon, bread. Are you happy, Mammy? Are you happy? Mushrooms, mushrooms. And a lovely hot cup of tea. Seamus, you're a great boy. And they enjoyed their breakfast together. But Mammy never liked to sit around too long. She got out, she got up, she grabbed the broom, and he grabbed them up. And together they did a dance together. They danced a jig. Wonderful. Mammy was so proud. She invited all the neighbours to come over to see her new version of a son. He's no longer lazy. He helps me with all the chores. I couldn't ask for more. And somehow or other, he's learned all these new tunes. I don't know where he got it, but he's brilliant now altogether. The neighbours thought maybe Mammy was boasting a little bit, but no. They got in and they found that Seamus was a brilliant musician. In fact, within a year, he became the most famous musician in Ireland. Famous Seamus, they called him. So everybody up. We're about to do our final Ceilidh. Everybody stand up. Here we go for a great dance with Seamus. And I have to say that from that day forward, Seamus not only became the most asked and sought after and popular musician in Ireland, he played at concerts, at Ceilidhs, at presentations and parties and all kinds of things, weddings throughout the year, every day of the year, except Samhain. No, said Seamus, I don't think I need to go out on the 31st of October. Thank you very much. I don't think I'll be doing that. Well, why not, Seamus? Oh my goodness, you could be playing every single county in Ireland on Halloween. Sure, it's the best night of all. No. I won't be doing that in case I meet the puka. And that is the story of the piper and the puka. The white gander, or as I like to say, puka, beware. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, ducks and chickens, horses and goats, pukas, everybody, you're so welcome. And I'm so glad that you joined me in our celebration of Samhain. Maybe you would show me, I don't know if I can see it on the webinar, all of the beautiful costumes that some of you are wearing. Pretty amazing. I hope you have a spooktacular time. And I must say that I am enjoying Samhain already so much. And I'm so glad that you joined me today. And I do apologize for, it wasn't me, it was the Sheog. It was the Sheog, it was the fairies. They were playing a prank on me, a dirty trick, because I didn't leave them out any Kilcannon or any barmbrack. And remember, be very careful if you're tasting that barmbrack, because there could be something in there that you don't want to know about or you don't want to eat. So I will say good luck to you all and enjoy Samhain. From Storymora, Once Upon a Time in Ireland, many, many thanks to Liam, Heidi, Eileen, and all of the amazing crew who organized this event, the United Irish Cultural Center of San Francisco. You are the best. Thanks, everybody. Slán.
Slán.